Okay, so I've purchased the extra wide guards from JK Warehouse, which I'll tell you, don't read the instructions. Well, actually read the instructions, but don't buy the drill bits and drill the holes the size that they tell you, because the nut inserts are 11mm, not 14mm. So I'm glad that I didn't drill them out. I actually measured them with the caliper first. So that's a big one. I called him and he said, oh, just use what you've got, and if you get any issues, email me. Yeah, that's not really good enough. Anyway, so I'm about to do this side. I'm going to start with the rear, because I've already done the other side. I'll show you in a minute. And then I'll do the front. Yeah, so I'm doing it because I want some more clearance, and it looks a lot better. You can't really see too much of this side, I'll show you after, but so that side's on. And it was not an easy task. It took me about 3 hours. So let's get started. So first of all, you got to undo all the fasteners, all the little clips. Now the tools you're going to need one of these. So you pop all the little clips off, and there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, I think there's about 4 or 5, and then you just reef it off. And to refit it, if you ever needed to, you need to buy new clips. There's like 6 maybe, I'll show you in a minute. And yeah, so let's get started. As you can see, a lot of shit hides behind that plastic guard, so it's kind of useless anyway. When you put the new fenders on, there's no inner guards unless you purchase some, which I may do later. We'll see how we go. So now it's ready to pull off. Some of those clips don't come out, so they'll just break off, and then just push them through. Voila! See, they all break off. Then what we do is we just go and pop all these off, and then we're good to go. So that's all those out. Now what I'm going to do is just give this a bit of a clean up. Put the nut, drill out the holes that need to be drilled. Put the nut inserts in, and then we'll move on. So I'm just using some instant shine detailer. I'm in under a car park, so I don't really have any soapy water or anything. So. Okay, so I'm ready to put the nut inserts in. So you'll use 6 of them and an 11mm drill bit, but just to confirm, get a caliper, set of vernier gauges, sorry, and just measure the outer diameter near the top because it's tapered. then you'll know what size drill bit to use. You don't want to go too big, gotta be sloppy, it wants to be tight. So you're going to drill out 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Double check. Yep, 1, 2, 3 there. Yep. And with your nut insert gun, I'll thread this on first. Then voila, it will deform the metal a bit, but who cares, you're not going to see it behind the guard. You want to hold the guard on nice and strong, and they look pretty strong to me. Okay, now we're just going to, now that all the nut inserts are in, I'm going to bolt the guard up just loosely. So then we can see where these brackets go. These fucking brackets, they don't even tell you, you can't even see in the instructions that these are the brackets you use, you have to just figure it out. So I'm going to actually do a screenshot and show you at the start that these are the brackets that you'll need. This little one goes at the front there. Which way does it go? That way. And this one gets tucked up in here. So I'll screw the guard on, find out where these go, drill them out, then these will get installed, guard will get installed, and we're done. This side's going to take a lot less time than the other side, because I know what I'm doing this time. Make sure you install this one first, because otherwise it's going to be really hard to get in later. And not a big issue for the first fitment, because you're just going to get it in place and then put the brackets in place and drill the holes and things. But when you're installing the fender finally at the end, then make sure you put that screw in first, because otherwise it's really hard to get in when all these other ones are in. I made that mistake on the other side and it sucked. Okay, now that the guard is loosely installed, you want to put these brackets in place. So this bracket goes this way, and that'll bolt onto there, which I'll do in a second. And then as you can see underneath, there's a hole there. So there's 2 holes, so you need to mark them. And yeah, it doesn't touch, but it works. Drill them through, put a nut and bolt. I had to use my own nuts and bolts for the inside one, and the supplied ones for this one. And then this one's a lot harder because it needs to go up in here. You can see how there's a cutout in the bracket, so it lines up. It's very tight, it doesn't fit very well. I used the hammer and smashed the crap out of it, but there's 2 holes there, you mark them, drill them through, and then you'll line that up. And yeah. So, can't remember what size drill bit this is. So it has 11mm out. Oh yeah, that's right. The drill bit is the same size to match the bolts that come with the kit, but don't read the instructions because the drill bit won't be the same. So I'm going to drill these ones out a bit smaller, but these ones here I'm going to drill big because it's actually really hard to line this bracket up. Okay, you'll understand how much this bracket sucks when you get to it. Okay, so I've decided I'm not putting this bracket in because I can't even access it to do the bolts up, and it's just not going to go in. I feel like it's going to be strong enough without that. I might still put those bolts there and bolt that on. Yeah, I will. But no bracket. Sorry, bracket. So I'm putting the guard back on now. This is its final time and it's going to stay on. I might need to put that bracket on later, but we'll see how we go. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, so, but I can always put it in later. I've got the holes drilled, so that's alright. Remember, put this one in first, the lower left, because otherwise, yeah, it'll be too hard. Alright, so just tighten all the bolts up now. And that, my friends, is the rear guard on. Woohoo! Old crappy guard, new solid guard. And I don't have to worry about getting in trouble by the police anymore. As you can see, the front tyres overhang, WA, laws, stuck balls. Alrighty, I'm gonna have some lunch and then we'll do the front one. Looks pretty cool. I might actually paint all under there with like a Raptor coating. You can get it in a can, that'd be fun. I'll probably just give it a light wet and dry first, maybe rinse it off, no rush. Boom. Well, ta-da! And the front's finished. The only thing is, there's a lot of exposed engine stuff there, so I need to get another guard or something. But yeah, it looks sick. Oh, did you guys want to know how to actually do it? Ah, I see. Well, I'll show you on the other side. This side's all done now. Looking good. Okay, so no idea what all these little brackets are for that came with the kit, but I didn't use them. So definitely this one and this big bracket here, and you put all the clips you get, put them all on so that the inside of the clip, the bulky part of the clip, is facing in. Okay, that one needs to be up. It's a bit of a mess around, as you'll see when I do it, but that I've already done the other side, I know what I'm doing, so this side shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, alright, let's get started. As per the rear, you've got to undo a few of these little clips here with your special tool. Boom, and they usually fly everywhere. Then what you got to do, 10mm, and undo all the nuts. Now these nuts, there's 1, 2, 3, there's a few, but you'll need these 3 to put the bracket on afterwards. Okay, so alright, I'll get stuck into that. Righto, these clips on the outside of here, they're a bit different, so you just got to get a little tool like this. I just get a hammer and just pop them in, and then they'll pull out. I put these on the other day, and yeah, they're a bit harder to get off. That's okay, I'll get them off. If I have to break them off, I'll break them off. But the guard is still good to sell to someone. Once you've undone all the clips, the inner guard comes out. Four bolts to undo, I think there's only 4. And you reuse 3 of them. Okay, once you've undone all the bolts, all the clips, taken the inner guard out, this is where you do the fun part. Boom. Love that part. And you're left with 3 bits, the inner, this bit, and the guard. Still in great nick. then like I did with the rear, just going to give it all a bit of a tidy up. Just going to pull these clips off, and this part here you obviously reuse. It's good because the new guard sits on there while you adjust it. Yeah, alright, let's start putting the new guard on. I wish that we lived in America and didn't have to put the guards on because it looks heaps better. They went on the other side. This side's lining up better than the other side, which is good. As you'll see, 1, 2, 3 holes, and there's 2 more here underneath that you've got to drill holes for. So what I'm going to do is put the guard on, bolt everything up, including a little bracket on the side, and then I'll mark them, mark these down here, and take the guard back off, drill them, put the bracket on, and then put the guard back on. Easy. Stay. There is heaps of leftover screws from the back. They're probably the same. Oh, I don't think there'll be too many left over from the front. Use the long ones. Even these little bolts here, don't do them up too tight because otherwise these won't line up. So leave everything nice and loose, and you can figure out how you're gonna, which order you're gonna tighten it up afterwards. Okay, so now I've done all the nuts that I can do up tight. So you got one there, one there, one there, one there, one there, and then two at the front. And I've got 5, I think, holes to drill. There's those two, which I've marked. They'll be in that bracket, which is still loose. I'll do that at last. Nice and tight at the end. There's that one there. And then there's these two. And this bracket, it's tight on this side, it wasn't on the other side. Anyway, when it's loose, I'll go in. That bracket goes in there. Once I've drilled those holes, I can basically bolt that in anyway. And then you have to drill all the way through. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, brackets in. I'm going to put a bolt in here, and I'm going to put it down so that way it's level and the holes will match up. Because if I just put it back there and drill it, I guarantee you that the bolts won't line up. Cool. Now we can put the guide back on. It was pretty easy. Second side's always easier than the first side. I'm going to try and put the end bolts in first because they're usually the hardest. Oh, hello. Right. You've only got to pretty much get it started. Cool, so now I just need to go put the next bracket one in, and then I'll put, actually I might put these top ones in now, just put them in loose. Well, you mightn't start even doing them up now. And then do them all up and we're done. Righto, so all the bolts are fitted, and I've gone over and made sure they're all tight, evenly tight, because as you do one up, it might loosen another one. So just go over and double check, triple check them all. And now I'm just going to do the nuts on, do these ones up, and put a bolt through here, and that's it, we're done. Piece of cake. And have a look at how good she looks. What a beast. Time for some bigger tyres.